Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. All right, Loyiso Gola, just congratulating you, man. You have a special coming up on Vimeo. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really, I'm excited about that.
Talk to me all about it.
Um, I mean, I've always done stand-up in Johannesburg and stuff, so I just wanted to come out to the world and do some stand-up. And, this is the opportunity, and Vimeo jumped at the opportunity to do the to the special with me.
Talk to me about comedy. When did you realize that that was what you wanted to do as a career and as a profession?
When I was 17. I've been doing stand-up since I was 17 years old.
What was the moment? Like when did
The
it?
moment? Oh, it's actually, there's a whole story behind it. There was, in school we had this thing called job shadow, which is pretty much you follow a career that you're interested in for a week. You write about it and hopefully pursue it after school. And I followed some comedians for a week, and I liked it. That was the time. Took literally 2 days for me to go, yeah, okay, cool, this is what I like, and I decided that's what I'm going to do with my life.
It must have been rough at the beginning, though. Comedy is hard, man. I've tried stand-up before, and it is really, really hard.
Yeah, you have to work on it. You have to have a bit of a knack for it, and you must also just like thrive to improve. But it is hard. But with anything, you just get used to it, and then you just just becomes second nature.
There's another famous South African making waves in the U.S., Trevor Noah, who's obviously taken over The Daily Show and done such great things. Talk to me about, and I've talked to Trevor about this as well, how have your experience as a South African molded your comedy?
I mean, every comic is molded by the experience, but our experience is very unique because we were at the cusp of apartheid, so we didn't experience the intensity of apartheid. We felt the ripple effects of it, and also we grew up on American culture in the sense of American TV and American music, and so we can relate to this audience. But at the same time, we're not from here, and we have like a totally different perspective. So for the acts that are coming from South Africa, our view and experience is extremely different to Americans. Just the way we see the things you do, we just go, oh, okay, cool, that's quite an American
Like,
thing.
these guys are wacky.
It's not necessarily wacky. It's just like might not necessarily be applicable. This might not necessarily be applicable elsewhere.
When you look at, we're one day away from the craziest election of all time here in the U.S., how are you guys viewing it over there? What's the perception outside of the U.S. of what's going on here right now?
Well, I can only speak on my perception,
Okay.
and my perception is that it's the craziest thing ever that Trump even is in the conversation to possibly run a country like America. but it's just so bizarre because I thought it was a big joke, but this joke has come to bite me in the ass because I'm like, yo, this dude is still in the running. How is this guy still here? How is he still a possibility? It's democracy, man. You overtrust democracy.
That's true. Isn't that true? Talk to me about the transition and breaking into the American mainstream. Obviously, being on a platform like Vimeo now offers you the access to get seen by a lot of people. But what's that transition like for a comedian coming from South Africa?
For me, I mean, I don't know what you mean. You mean the material? I think the material for me is important that the people understand. But I'm used to adapting my material constantly because in South Africa we have 11 languages, and each language is nuanced with its own culture or sometimes subculture. And so when you're performing in South Africa, you're constantly navigating around that. And so when it's time to go from London to New York and from New York to another place or Finland, wherever the case may be, you're so used to the adapting that it doesn't affect you that much. But there is a great deal to consider, right? Like you have to be cognizant of what Americans are used to. And if you want to challenge it, but it has to be the purpose of that, but not say things that they don't understand.
For those that are going to be tuning into this special, what are they going to be getting?
Jokes.
That's easy.
But I think that the thing that I'm excited about is people hearing my opinion on a lot of issues that sometimes are poignant and sometimes silly. I've got heavy opinions on silly things, and I've got heavy opinions on serious things, and I've got light opinions on serious. You know what I mean? My array of I've got an array of opinions layered all over the place. So I don't really would describe myself or put myself in a box, but I would say that my stand-up touches on serious things and it touches on silly things. Like I talk about checking in and being annoyed at that, and I talk about gun control and being annoyed at that. And these are, for me, when I sit there, these are equally annoying. I don't go, oh, this one is silly.
Checking in, gun control.
Yeah, so I swing between the two. I swing through extreme issues and trivial issues.
How's your comedy formed? How do you form your jokes? Is it just through real life interactions that you have? What are your muses?
I try to write. I try to write from a place of honesty, and by honesty, I have to go, this is funny to me, as opposed to it's gonna be fun. It's a funny thing, right? So I gotta go. If I don't find it funny, then I won't say it on stage. I won't say something that I like. I won't. I won't talk about something that I don't find funny or ironic. I have to absolutely myself find it funny before I can share it with anyone else. Even sometimes there's ideas where I'm like, oh, this is a funny thing, but I don't find it funny. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. So sometimes I go, okay, I have to genuinely think, oh, this is funny, and also the opinion of it must almost not correlate with the rest of the opinions. I enjoy the idea that, oh, my opinion kind of challenges other people's opinion.
Obviously, I mentioned Trevor earlier, and it's a perfect example of someone who came from your country, who's absolutely made it in America. Who are your heroes, though? Who are the people you look up to?
I like Louis.
He's a genius.
I like Louis. I like Hannibal Buress. I like his stuff. I like Patton Oswalt. I like Eddie Izzard. There's a lot of guys I like. I don't watch too much stand-up, but I do watch these particular guys I just mentioned because they just add to comedy as a whole. Like when you watch them, they like, oh man, they are constantly like pushing the envelope. So I'm excited to see what they're on. But I wouldn't generally watch that much stand-up. Like I wouldn't spend an hour on YouTube watching random stand-up comedy. It's because sometimes what happens is if I really like an act, I adapt their mannerisms, and that's not necessarily a good. It's not necessarily a good thing because you become that human.
Do you lose some of yourself when you begin to imitate others?
Definitely. So you don't want that. You want to stay far away from that. And also, like, imitating people is not necessarily a conscious idea. Sometimes it's extremely subconscious, and you just find yourself going, I find that funny, therefore I will
copy it.
Yeah.
Steal it.
Yeah, so you just try to avoid that as much as possible.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on the special.
Oh, thank you.